Hello and welcome to Utkarsh Minds Python for Data Science. Today we will see what are control structures in detail and what are conditions. So for this we will open our Colab notebooks, then click on new notebook. Once the notebook is open, I will give it the name and click connect. So conditions and control statements, these are two topics that are linked together. Let us say A is 5 and B is 10. What will be the result of this condition? A is less than B. Okay, this condition is understood as A is less than B. This will be true because if you see A is 5 and B is 10, what will happen if I write A is greater than B? And what will happen if I write A is equal to B? That means A and B are same, or A equals B. So this condition will give false because A and B are not same, A is less than B. In this case, control structures that we saw in the previous class, like if, else, they rely on these conditions to determine the order of execution. For example, if A equals B, this is the condition, then I will print A and B are same, else does not have a condition, so we will print A and B are different. So A and B are different. Control structures depend upon conditions to decide if the flow of program should be and what it should not be. It is also possible to write in this manner: if A greater than B, if this condition is true, then you will print A is greater than B. If this condition is not true, you will print A is not greater than B. So if is true, then this will execute, then this print will execute, else this will execute. So since A is not greater than B, because A is 5 and B is 10, this was executed. So this is a shorthand way of writing if and else. There is also one more thing that we can do. We can have multiple conditions. That means if A is greater than B and A is equal to B. So or condition, then we will print something, else we will print something else. So we will write A is either greater or equal to B, or A is less than B. So two conditions will be checked. Either this condition should be correct or this condition should be correct. One of the two should be correct and that should give you the answer. Let us say there is one more variable C. Now we are checking two conditions, but both should be true. that is A should be greater than B and greater than C. Is greater than B and C. So A is, then this, if it is not true, that means if even one of the two conditions is not correct, then A is not greater than both B and C. So what we get is that A is not greater than B and C. This is what happens in control structures. Control structures, if you just write if true, because control structures require a condition that evaluates to true or false, but you can simply write true and still this program will work. See, if you write something like this, if 10 print I, it works because any non-zero value is treated as true. So any non-zero is true. However, if I write if 0 print high, so it did not work. What if I write -8? Then also it will work, because any non-zero it will not work. So you can test that any non-zero it will work, but 0 it will not work. Let us have an empty list and see if that works. So it did not work because an empty list is equivalent with a false. But if the list has even one element, then it is equivalent to true. So it is not that always a condition will be there, but it may also be something other than a condition. These condition statements and control structures are very useful in data science. We can, for example, check if a letter exists in a string. For example, I want to check if A exists in a string. So I will write if letter in then print yes. So yes, but if I change that and write if D, then there will be no output because D is not there in this. So it is a useful way of finding out whether a particular value or a variable or an alphabet is present in a string using the in keyword. In this way, we have seen the different control structures, and we will continue to see the other different aspects of Python. Thank you for watching this video and see you in the next video.